In the last episode of Monkey Shorts, we looked at the mround function, among other things. And one of the challenges is that even though the mround function is very cool, that it allows you to round to a different multiple, it doesn't work with negative numbers. Now, this is a little bit of a challenge. You can see that when we're looking inside the data here, I've got this hash num error where we've actually tried to round this negative 562 to the closest 250 units. You'll notice over here, though, that I do have it working. I've got my negative 500, but what did I have to do? Well, I had to come in here and I had to take the original actual revenue and I had to take the mround against the absolute version of that. Well, the problem is, of course, that I've flipped the sign, so I then have to go back and check the original actual revenue column again to see if it's less than 0, so I can multiply it by -1 if it is. The big issue? It takes 2 calls to the original data. And that can be a performance hit in larger solutions. So we want to try and avoid that. Now, I want you to recognize here that I have been able to make this work making 1 call to the data. And it uses the same setup as we use in DAX using the VAR return. But in this case, I'm using Excel's let function. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to compare the results from the myMround column here, which are using Excel formulas, to the myMround column here, which is using a DAX construct to do this. So here we go. I'm just going to open this up, and you can see that the myMround formula, if I were to go and just click in this right here, there's a multi-line formula. I've used Alt-Enter on every one of these in order to get those line breaks in. And you can see that we've got our variable being declared. We start with equals let. We declare var value and set it to the actual revenue. We then have a comma at the end of the line. DAX does not do this. We have, in that case, a var statement, declare the name, what's it equal to, no comma before we move to the next one. So the big differences here is in DAX, no comma at the end of the line, we put var in front of every variable line. In Excel, we don't need to do that. But when we get down to the end, you'll notice that the DAX statement includes a return statement. The Excel statement does not. Whatever the last line is, that's what actually gets returned. And I've seen people that have actually written a return variable and then put comma after that calculation and then put in return. That works too. But regardless, you can see that the structure is virtually identical. We're checking the var value, assign it to our actual revenue. In the case of Power Pivot, we're going to sum it first. We run our var round, which runs the ABS calculation. We then run a var sign, which looks at the same information that we pulled from the beginning, checks if it's less than 0, multiplies it by -1 if it is, and then we multiply var round times var sign in order to return our results. Let and the var return constructs are almost identical. The syntax is just a teeny bit different, but they do the same things, allowing you to make 1 call to your data source and get the value you need. Thank you for watching this episode of Monkey Shorts. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to click on the SkillWave logo on the bottom left in order to subscribe to our channel. Or if you'd like to see more videos in the series, click on the playlist tile on the right. And if you'd like to get more comprehensive training, you should definitely check out our website at skillwave.training.